enterprise goes into a warehouse. So they're extremely paranoid, especially the chief security officers or the chief compliance officers in the company around what kind of security capabilities exist. And DW is extremely differentiated. Workload management, none of the other cloud data warehouses have it. So you can prioritize queries based on what needs to get satisfied. So you can efficiently use the resources of the data warehouse. That's something that's very unique to DW. It supports heterogeneous data, so it's not just relational data, but unstructured data, JSON files, CSV, et cetera, are natively supported now. And then the developer productivity angle, right? This is huge. Again, it's very unique to how we think about it at Microsoft, where the Azure DevOps integration that we've done around SQL DW to get the CI/CD pipelines just be turnkey is really phenomenal. Jumping into price performance, some of you may have seen this slide, but you may not have seen the blue lines before. And now we've added those too. So that's Snowflake, by the way. So just across the board. So TPC-H and TPC-DS are two industry standard benchmarks for data warehousing. They've been around for a very, very long time. When you look at any IT shop, when they think about making decisions about the data warehouse, these land up becoming extremely critical data points, other than specific workloads that they run as a part of the POC. And it's just been a game changer. Whenever I sort of show up this slide and talk to the customers, they want to know more. So GigaOM did this independently, right? They basically just ran the benchmark. And it's not just that we are slightly better. Across Redshift, across BigQuery, across Snowflake, we're significantly better across all the queries. And this is just a great conversation starter. Because price performance, going back to the big, early on I said, it's a huge area of focus, and you'll see us keep investing more and more in this. One of the customers that has succeeded really well with our analytics platform is Walgreens. And let me invite Greg on stage, who's one of your peers, to come and tell us about that story. Greg? Well, thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you, Rohan.
So how did you uncover the opportunity at Walgreens?
Yeah, the opportunity was really unique. One thing that's very critical is partnering with your partners. TCS, in this example, was our partner. Working with them and creating synergies is key to understanding what the problem statement really is. At Walgreens, they knew the details of Netezza appliance that was running out of capacity, that was out of compliance with support, and also had issues with concurrency. By working with them, we can clearly define what they needed to do and then move forward. So tight integration with a partner is key.
That's really amazing to hear. Partners, absolutely. We've seen that in so many other deals.
Yep.
So, okay, so once you identified the opportunity, what were the key steps? Can you just walk us through step by step? What did you do?
Absolutely. So they want to do a POC. So I've done POCs many, many times in my career, and sometimes nothing really happens. So I wanted to make sure, first step, get security out of the way. Get the leadership on board to understand how we're going to secure the data using Azure SQL Data Warehouse, using Polybase. And more importantly, prove it to them. Show them using MS peering, VNet injection, service endpoints, network security groups, inbound, outbound rules, controls their data, and is secured over the express route circuit. It really got us out of the way to be able to move things forward. Right. Because at the end of the POC, if we do all this work, we can't go anywhere because there's a blocker for security. We've done all this work for nothing, right? And I also want to make sure that we have a budget allocated for the next steps. So if the POC is successful, we define the success criteria, it's measurable, it's attainable, and at the end of it, at the readout, we show them it not only is attainable and readable, but really it integrates across the platform. It's not a point solution. Everyone needs to understand it integrates with storage, Azure Databricks, Power BI, Azure Analysis Services. So it was not a point solution that some of our competitors had, but it's a platform for the whole entire enterprise for data and analytics.
And telling that story is very critical, as you sort of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you sort of engage, Walgreens, of course, is a pretty significant win. And so what would you say is a key learning that you took away after sort of having gone through the entire exercise that you want to share with your
Yeah, great question. So what I found is it's so important to work with different areas of the business and also IT. So for example, the security component, I had to work with the security people, leadership of security, and all the way down to the people that would do the day-to-day work on security to really understand how we're going to do this. Then you need to work with the DBAs. So the DBAs have to understand what SQL PaaS is, how it's different from the current on-prem systems. Then you got to work with the business analyst. They have their tools today they use, but tomorrow it's a different world. Instead of using Netezza, we're going to use SQL Server Management Studio and be able to integrate across all those platforms. Really gave them the ability to move forward, to use scale, to be able to save money and get better performance.
That's so fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your learnings, and congratulations on Walgreens. Customers like Walgreens spend a lot of time, and you see this with the big whales that we have. And when they finally make a bet, it's important to look back at everything And as you just heard, even the focus on the security piece, not just the price performance, and getting that started early on will really help in migrating these workloads faster. Again, one of the best ways to look at how the entire modern data warehouse pattern comes together is through a demo. Please let me invite Gaurav to come and showcase the differentiated capabilities that we have. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Rohan. So, as Rohan mentioned, the modern data warehouse pattern is resonating super well with customers. So in this demo, we'll see how Worldwide Importers, a smart retailer, is looking to build a